What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of BurlyFishing and another unboxing of Mystery Tackle Box versus Monster Bass Regional Box. Finally, I've been waiting all month for this bad boy to actually show up, and thank gosh it did. Right on an upload day. So I am literally shooting this, uploading this. You guys are seeing it same day. And hey, by the way, before I get into the unboxing, if you guys want to win a box, happens to be from Monster Bass, full of baits, 14 baits in fact, including such things as 6 cents rabbit baits. We've got some Mayhem scents in there. We've got some square bills, crankbaits, spinner baits, all sorts of stuff that you guys would love to fish with and will definitely sling out and catch some monsters on. If you want to win that, click the link below. I'll leave it in the first comment and the description and enter to win. This ends this Friday, 6/19 at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. So don't miss out. Go win some baits. All you got to do is follow all of our channels, subscribe to the channel, Instagram, Facebook, and then share the giveaway and share my channel if you guys would be so kind. And you get extra entries every day. So there's still about a day and a half, day plus 20 hours to enter. So get after that. If it's your first time stopping by the channel and you want to be a part of the best dang bunch of anglers on the interwebs, then you should also subscribe to the channel. Click that, click the like button, ring the notification bell, do all sorts of stuff. But hey, let's get to this unboxing because we've got right here the Monster Bass Regional Box. This is $36.99. And the MTB Elite Box, this is $39.99. I don't know which one's better. We're gonna find out. You guys are gonna help me decide as well. I do work with Monster Bass, full disclosure, and I love Monster Bass. I also have been getting MTB boxes forever. I like to get both because who doesn't want more baits? And what I like to do on these boxings, if you haven't seen my previous ones, which you can go back and check them out if you subscribe to my channel, I like to let the baits talk for themselves. So I'm just gonna unbox, I'm gonna go bait by bait. I'm gonna tell you what I think about it. You guys tell me what you think about it in the comments below. And of course, let me know which box you think is the hashtag better box. Let's get to it, guys. This is good. This is gonna be a good unboxing, I think. I think there are a lot of friggin' good baits in both of these boxes. So I'm pumped to get to it, guys. Here we go. If you guys haven't seen the unboxings before, here's how we do it. I'm gonna go bait by bait. I'm gonna start with Monster Bass. I'm gonna take one bait out. I'm gonna try to do a comparable bait from MTB and kind of put them head to head, And ultimately what we're looking for is, what would you fish? Think about the season that you're in right now. Think about fishability of these baits in your local waters, whether or not you would throw it, right? Look at colors, look at styles of baits, things like that. But hey, we're gonna go bait by bait. We're gonna start with the sticker. By the way, shipping wise, I paid for this box on the 1st. It's the 17th. I got my Monster Bass box in 7 days, so come at me, MTB, get on it. All right, we'll do the stickers here real quick. MTB Catch Coast sticker. We got a bass riding a motorcycle. Red, white, and blue-ish. Kind of cool. And then we've got from the Monster Bass box, American flag MB. I like that. Like the size of the sticker. Then we got that, the bass mask. So, all right, we got our information cards. We got our pricing cards. I don't really go by that too much, so I'm gonna just kind of skip right by that. If you guys do read these, sometimes you get tips. In this case, Monster Bass, they got some featured anglers. That's kind of cool. They even let you know what's coming next month. Next month, we got a Lunker Hunt takeover box, so I'm pretty excited for that. All right, so stickies are out of the way. Let's get to the actual baits in these boxes. We're gonna start with the hard baits. We'll finish with the plastics. That's generally how we do this thing. So Monster Bass box going first. We've got a Zman Cross Eyes football jig. Right off the top, in Moneymaker is the name of the color. This is a 1/2 ounce jig. Comes in a purple and green, aka the Moneymaker. If it's a little more flashy, you might call it like a candy grass, but we got this purple on the bottom of the skirt, green pumpkin at the top of the skirt. So with this brush guard, we've actually got it split down the middle. Now, sometimes you can buy a band to split your brush guard on your jigs, because having like a thicker brush guard will cause you to miss fish if you're not just jacking their jaw open with it. So that's pretty cool. It's a little lighter wire hook as far as jigs go. And then we have a bait keeper hook right here. So you just thread on, you know, your craw or whatever baits you're gonna be throwing on the jig, and it'll hang on nice and tight. Interesting design with that brush guard, kind of like it. And skirt looks good. And then you got the old googly eyes in bright orange right up front. Good looking jig, something I'll definitely throw around. This is also, by the way, an Xzone takeover box for Monster Bass. So we're gonna get some Xzone stuff. Now, Xzone mostly makes plastics, right? So I can see them right now, but the plastics we're gonna get out of the box this month will be all Xzone, which is pretty sweet. And by the looks of it, they're not sampler packs, so that's always tight too. So we're gonna have something to pair that up with, I promise you. All right, so cross-eyes jig, first thing out of the Monster Bass box. Let's go to MTB. First thing out of there would be a Zman also, but a chatterbait. This is in green pumpkin. I've got too many green pumpkin chatterbaits. This is like my 4th or 5th one, so I'm gonna have to start trying to lose them or something. But we got the silver blade at the top. Classic. This is the original, I think they call it. Yeah, this is the original chatterbait, which is great. The way that line tie works, this blade gets moving right off the bat. It's not as solid. If you guys have ever thrown a jackhammer by Zman, these things are mint. It's not as good as that, but it's a fantastic chatterbait, and it definitely does friggin' work. Decent skirt on there. It'll stay on pretty good, and you can actually get replaceable skirts on this. They just slide over the top. Then you got your little bait keeper hook right there. So these things catch fish, especially if you're fishing around grass. This time of year, pretty good time to throw it. I'm definitely throwing them right now a lot. I had a few fish on it. Hopefully we'll start catching a few more. We'll see how it goes. All right, so MTB had the chatterbait. Next over to Monster Bass. So sticking with the Z-Man, we've actually got a Sling Blades spinnerbait. And I'll tell you this right now, this is one of my favorite spinnerbaits. I absolutely love the Z-Man spinnerbaits. I think they're fantastic. So right here, we've got what is called a Clearwater Shad color, but it's sort of that white, silver, and gray on top. Got a big silver willow leaf blade off the back, and then a gold Colorado blade up front. So Colorado blade will give you a little bit more thump, and then I do really like the combined colors where I fish a lot. So we have sort of that gold and that silver, I think really do a good job. And you know, these got a really nice skirt on them. It's got a solid bait keeper setup on these two. So generally my plastics, I have no problem keeping them on there. If you want to throw a trailer hook on there, always a good idea when you guys are throwing spinner baits, because oftentimes fish will swipe at it and just miss that hook. But if you have that trailer hook, you hook up like 9 times out of 10. Good looking spinner bait, one of my favorite styles, definitely something I'll throw, and a solid color to be throwing as well. So I think we're done with Z-Man. We're gonna move on to other things. Back to MTB. In this case, we have a Castaic. Oh my God, I'm gonna get wrecked on this. We have another spinnerbait. So this is the Castaic, I believe is how you pronounce it. I don't know, tell me. Atlas spinnerbait. This is also a good looking spinnerbait. Really just violent bright blue coming off the back of that skirt, but not a bad looking bait. Color is called Clear Blue Glimmer. You got the good looking fish head here, nice and tapered and carved out, looks really good. The eyes look good on that. Sort of that white and silver underskirt, and then we've got blue on top. 2 silver willow blades. Seem okay. Front one seems kind of cheap. You got sort of that spring in between here that keeps the blades from running into each other too much, which is a really good idea when you have 2 longer blades like willow leaf blades. So I think it's gonna run pretty good. I think it looks pretty good too. So definitely gonna be throwing that. Spinner baits right now, they work pretty good. So I'll be throwing those a bunch. Going back over to Monster Bass, we actually have chase baits. Now these guys were featured in a previous box. We had the Rip Snorter, which was more of a swim bait underspin. And this one here we have is called the Wiggle Bomb. Okay, all right, so this is the Wiggle Bomb, the big Wiggle Bomb, mind you. And it looks like a hollow body frog bait. Let's take a look at this thing. So it's a hollow body bait, but you're gonna fish it differently. So this is actually designed to sink. It's a slow sinking bait, and what they say, what Chase Baits actually says for how to fish this thing, is to actually let it sink, run it kind of like a wake bait, or let it drop all the way down into the weeds or off of ledges, and you're gonna get some crazy action from this tail and from these legs, as you guys can see right there. And this weight is gonna kind of pull that thing down. So I think it's gonna look really good in the water. And it definitely gives you something different to present those fish. If you got fish that are pressured and they're kind of seeing the same things over and over and over again, you throw something like this little beast at them and you might get a different reaction out of it. So that's cool, I like it. And then it's got the double hook just like you would normally on a frog style bait. Now I believe you can probably fish it like a frog as well if you fish it fast. Otherwise, yeah, it's just gonna kind of go down and sink. But that's cool, definitely a different presentation. I like it, I'm really excited to go throw this thing. Again, that's Chase Bait's Big Wiggle Bomb. So that's Monster Bass. Back to MTB, we've got a square bill. This is a Xzone Adrenaline Deep Thud series. We got 3/4 of an ounce. It's a pretty heavy square bill. It's got an interesting lateral line on it there. Color-wise, you got like a little white, super bright chartreuse on the bottom, and then on the top we got sort of this darker gray. Hooks look pretty good, pretty sharp, and you got sort of that wide flat bill. It's gonna have some real erratic action. Heavy thud, aka deep thud series. So it's gonna be loud. I like it. Fish square bills a lot today, actually. I was out on the water for like 6-7 hours. Caught a bunch of fish on square bills, so I like me some square bill fishing. Next up, we're going back to Monster Bass. We've got, I'm just gonna knock this one out. Liquid Mayhem. I don't know if you guys have ever fished with this before, but it's just a fish scent. So this is garlic minnow scent. If you guys got a bunch of bait fish, shad spawn minnows, anything popping right now in your waters, and you're not getting the reaction that you want from your fish, you can just kind of rub a little bit of this on your plastics. We got all these Xzone plastics we're gonna get to here in a second, so I imagine we're gonna be using a bit of that. Can't see why not. All right, so back to MTB, we've actually got a Lipless here. So this is Livingston Lures Lipless, a technology lure. Electronic bait fish sounds. What? How does it? Can you guys hear that? Can you hear that? Okay, so basically what I am seeing here from the box is that with this Lipless, when you got your line tied on and there's tension on this eye, and then these trebles are dragging behind it, so there's tension on all 3 of these little hook eyes there, it's going to make this like vibrating chirping sound. Like that. I don't know if that's a gimmick or if that's really gonna work. I'm interested. I'm a little concerned, but also interested. Technology, Skynet is getting into our fishing lures now. We're in trouble. Let's see if it actually catches some dang fish. So it's a Lipless. I mean, it's, this is like a 1/2 ounce, 2/5 of an ounce. So it's a slow sinking Lipless. It comes in 2/5 of an ounce. Color is Beauty Shad. So it's sort of the see-through chartreuse lateral line, blue kind of on top, red eyes. The color alone, if it was just a standard Lipless, I'm sure it would catch some fish. I am very interested to see if this like chirping sound does anything for catching fish. We gonna find out. All right, so that's MTB. We're back to Monster Bass here. So we have the eyeball head from Lifted Jigs. This is a lead head. So we got a lead head jig with a screw lock. And I'm sure that when we get to these plastics, I'm gonna show you guys what I'll probably do if I was just fishing this box as far as what plastics I would rig with this, as well as the cross-eyes jig, and you know, maybe what I would throw on the sling blades as well. So you got a lead head, sort of ball-headed jig that has a line tie coming out horizontal there. A lot of things we can do with this. We'll get to that in a second. So it comes with 2 jigs. That's from Lifted Jigs, and they're in 5/16 of an ounce. Back to MTB. I'm gonna knock this out. So we have Tough Tube Mimic Minnows. It's a tube. It looks like a fish. I don't fish these often. I do fish tubes though, so I mean it just looks like it's a tube jig, right? And then it's a custom tube that's designed to look more like a fish. So we've got an eye on it, some horizontal lines there, You know, it's got a pretty fishy looking body and feel to it. I could see myself throwing this at a dam near me and probably catching some fish, as long as I don't get hung up on the rocks. But yeah, I definitely don't fish anything like this normally. I can't see why not, because I throw everything that comes in these boxes no matter what. So I guess we'll give this a shot. Interesting. It comes with 2, right? So that's Northland fishing tackle. Not something I commonly would fish. I don't even fish tubes that often unless I'm on the river or at the dam. Usually is where I'll fish them the most, but I'll throw it. All right, back to Monster Bass. We've got 3 baits left in each box here, so we're gonna get after it. So we have, hey, cool. So this actually came in an MTB box last month, I think. But we have the Xzone Pro Series. This is the 4-inch Adrenaline Bug. And this one comes in a watermelon color, but it's not a sample pack. This is actually 6 of these bugs that you get in here, which is sweet. If you guys haven't fished these before, I'm gonna just bust those claws out here. It's pretty sweet. Like it's a nice fat body, very durable body. Like it's a little thicker than normal like bug beaver style baits that you're gonna get. It's got these cool little appendages on the side there. And then we've got the 4 appendages on the bottom, and these are the floating style claws. So depending on how you rig this thing, these claws are gonna be moving a whole heck of a lot in the water, and they look dang good. I know it because I fished them before. I love it, I need that, I'm gonna fish that. Awesome, so I like that. And we'll do rigging at the end of this. All right, so back to MTB. We actually have a lunker hunt here. This is a Lunker Hunt link, and it looks like these 2 things are attached. I have actually never seen this bait before. I've seen like bait balls and different, you know, umbrella rigs and different styles of baits that look like schools of bait fish, right? That's kind of what we're going for here. So it looks like line ties at the front there. Got them linked together at the back. Doesn't look like you can take them apart, so you're pretty much gonna fish it this way all the time. Got 3 trebles. So I guess I would think of this as like a jointed bait, right? Just with 2 heads. So it's designed to look like 2 fish instead of 1 with a joint in the middle of its body. You got tons of movement that you can get there. I can't see it really getting tangled up or anything. Got a little rattle in the back one, it sounds like. Yep. And yeah, it's gonna move pretty funky in the water. Again, never fish anything like this. So we're gonna throw it out there. We're gonna see what the heck happens. Why not? All right, back to Monster Bass. We actually have, cool, I'm gonna force myself to throw this. I don't normally throw big worms, but this is the Xzone 11-inch Blitz worm in a red, it looks like a green fleck type of color here. It's called Red Bug. Look at that dang thing. Look at that dang thing. What? So it's a big bright red bug. Oh yeah, that looks good though. It's like, oh, there's like blue flakes in there. Looks solid. So this is something I would definitely, look at how long this tail is. And that's obviously gonna float too. These are salted up. You get 6 of them in this pack too. I'm gonna probably Texas rig that. I don't see throwing it on anything that came in the box this time, so I'd probably just Texas rig it on my own hooks and stuff. But dang good looking worm right there. I'm pretty pumped about it. Back to MTB, we actually have a Weston Magic Minnow. And that is, looks like we got 1 hook and 2 plastics here. So we're looking at head weight's 3/8 of an ounce, total weight 3/4 of an ounce when you're rigged up. So we got this paddle tail plastic, right? And then it looks like it's actually more of a swing jig style head. So we got a swim bait here, right? But the head of this swim bait is actually a swing style jig head, which is pretty sweet. Okay, so we got this hook on the back. It looks like we can slide over, rig another one pretty easily because it came with another one. Its color looks almost like a trout, really. They call it sparkling green. To me, it looks like straight up a trout. Looks pretty sweet. Nice colors, big old paddle off the back. You're gonna get probably a crazy amount of action out of this thing when it hits the water. So That'll actually be pretty cool to swim around. You can rig it weedless. You can throw this thing anywhere. It looks dang good. I could see myself fishing this on a lake I'm gonna hit tomorrow actually, so I'll let you know if I catch anything on it. Last two baits. So monster bass, the last one is actually a fantastic craw. So this is the Xzone again, muscleback finesse craw, 3.25 inches. I have seen this thing rigged up to a Ned rig by my buddy Paul, co-host of the podcast, BurlyFishing podcast. Shout out. He Ned rigged one of these, which has these dope floating claws. Big old flapping appendages there, and lots of little leggies too. So he Ned rigged it on one of the lakes we were fishing and hooked up to a couple of rock bass. It was sweet until it bit the claws off. But yeah, pretty solid bait. Got decent durability to it. I like this color too. So you got that kind of blue on the bottom and then green pumpkin with a little, looks like gold flakes in there too. So it's gonna catch a little bit of sunlight, give you a little flash too. Oh, there's purple in there too. It's like a dull candy grass almost. I like it. It's a sick looking craw. All right, last one from MTB. We've got Wave Fishing. And this looks to be, is this like a swim bait? Curly tail, grub style? Like what is this? It's a lizard with no legs. So we got sort of a grub style bait with that nice big flapping curly tail right there. It's a heck of a tail. And a big old fat head at the front. To me, it looks like a lizard bait mixed with a grub style, curly tail grub style bait on the back. So you got a nice thick, stronger body. And then watermelon color. Good looking color for this too. Yeah, I mean, I would Texas rig this. Texas, Carolina rig it, something like that. Yeah, all sorts of stuff you could do. It's fish food, not people food, guys. Don't eat these things. What the heck is Malopo? I don't know, but now I have cancer. Anyways, all right, so that's it. Which actually, I would say, of, you know, in both these boxes, probably my favorite things, just because I'm excited to fish with them. I liked this guy. I think this is probably the best thing out of that box. And then I like that big wiggle bomb. I'm excited to fish this thing. I think it's crazy. I hope it lands me a Mondo. I don't know. We're gonna see. We're gonna toss it out there. We're gonna see. All right, guys, so that's it. Cracked open both boxes. We had 8 baits in each box. You guys saw them. We went through all of them. What do you think? Which box do you think was the hashtag better box? Which box do you think had the best bait of the month? What was the best bait of the month in your opinion? To me, like I said, I'm between these two guys right here. And you know how I'm gonna decide? I'm gonna fish them both and see what happens. You know, my go-tos out of these two boxes would be those spinner baits. I think those are great. I like the square bill out of the MTB. And then all of the Xzone plastics. I love Xzone plastics, so I'm pretty pumped that I got 3 full bags, not sample bags out of them. But hey, at the end of the day, we got some heckin' baits and we've got some stuff that we can throw and land some bass on, so I'm excited about that. That's why I look forward to getting these boxes every single month. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you got an idea. If you're looking for a box, you've got an idea of which box you should go for. Again, MTB's is $39.99 for that MTB Elite box. They also have lower level boxes as well that are cheaper. And Monster Bass, this is a regional, it's $36.99. They also have a pro box that is under 30 bucks, so you can check those out. Go to monsterbass.com or mysterytacklebox.com. But if you go with Monster Bass and you want to save some money, you can type in save 15 and get your first box for 10 bucks if you do our pro box. So go check that out. If you guys liked the video, be sure to hit that like button, ring that notification bell, make sure you're already subscribed because you want to be a part of this Burly bunch. Again, the best bunch of anglers on the interwebs. So be sure to subscribe and hang tight for new videos. Make sure you've entered the giveaway. Link is below in the description and in the comments, so go hit that up. And of course, you can find us Instagram and Facebook, BurlyFishing, and our podcast, the BurlyFishing Podcast. Stay tuned for more good stuff, guys. We've got tons of build outs we're doing on the Hobie 360 right now. So if you want to see some cool kayak accessories for fishing, they come in your way. And we've also got a featured video for rabid baits. We took them out on the water and we caught a whole bunch of dang fish with those amazing finesse baits, so you see that. And we happen to have some people from Rabid Baits dropping by the podcast as well, so stay tuned for that episode dropping next week. That's it, guys. See you out on the water.